Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary peoples. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Saturday, October 15th, 2022. This will be my running back spikes and running back yikes for week 6. A reminder, I should have done this earlier in the week, but a reminder that there are 4 teams currently on bye: the Las Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, Detroit Lions, and then there's another AFC team, and I forgot who it is. Anyways, 4 teams on bye. So the bye weeks are starting big with 4 of them right out of the gate. Why can't I remember who the other team is? Texans. That's why I can't remember, because they're not relevant. So Titans, Texans, Raiders, Lions. 3 AFC teams, 1 NFC team on bye. So, and these rankings will not reflect Thursday night games, which, I mean, sure, David Montgomery probably would have been in the top 30. But I don't think Brian Robinson or Antonio Gibson would have been. I don't think any Bears receivers or pass catchers were going to be in the top 30. And I don't think any Washington... wait, I did the wide receivers yesterday morning after the Thursday game, so they weren't in there either. Yeah, with the way the Washington offense is looking right now, none of those guys, nobody in that game was super fantasy relevant this week, in my opinion. And as the score reflected, we didn't miss much. So hopefully you didn't really start anybody in that game. I mean, I unless you got Brian Robinson, who clearly, despite getting shot and missing 4 weeks, is still the #1 running back in Washington. So you can definitely move on from Antonio Gibson now here before week 7. But running back spikes and yikes. Let's get to the top 10 list first. I'm recording from my car. I'm trying to find new places to record without having to go anywhere. So, yeah. UPS did give me a check yesterday for a whole whopping $60. I don't understand. So it's going to cost me $4 to go cash it. So I'm going to have $55 because I don't have a bank account. And so, like, I'm just, if this is what's going to happen when I double ships, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it to me. I know that there's no way $60 was all that I made. So I want to know where the hell the rest of my money is, because the check that they gave me was garbage. My $65 pay check, and then this stupid $60 check. So I'm a little broke until Tuesday, and I'm definitely a little pissed because I was planning on buying some plane tickets to go somewhere at the end of the month, and it's getting closer. It's now the middle of the month, so I'm really, doubting I'm going to find good deals. I'm going to have to overpay for some tickets to and from when I get paid next week. So, with the way UPS is jerking me around with my pay anyways, I'm not going to get the money I'm supposed to get anyway. So I'm very confused. And there's no one, of course, there's no one on site in payroll to talk to. And so it's just a huge hassle and a half to try and figure out. But, yeah, happy Saturday to you. Let's get to the top 10 list. Running back top 30. I don't know why I said top 10 list. Running back top 30. So your 1s, your 2s, and your 3s. So start with the top 10. Your running back 1s for the week. We got Saquon Barkley at #1. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley. He's so far healthy and really productive. And the Giants are looking okay. Although I don't know how long the Giants are going to be able to keep it up. But they're looking good for now. Christian McCaffrey at 2. We got Austin Eckler at 3. Nick Chubb at 4. And Leonard Fournette at 5. Jonathan Taylor, who's still very questionable, game time decision. I'm going to lean on him playing because Jonathan Taylor's never really missed time in his career, his whole football career. Last week was the first game he missed. I think he's going to play, especially with the Colts are struggling, and they're trying to, having a disappointing season. Frank Reich wants to save his job. Chris Ballard wants to save his job. They're going to push on. They're going to lean on Jonathan Taylor to play. I think he's going to play. Alvin Kamara at 7, Joe Mixon at 8, Dalvin Cook at 9, and Breece Hall, the rookie, the stud rookie, who Breece Hall was so good in college. I knew it was only a matter of time before he became the guy in the New York Jets backfield. I didn't think he'd be a running back 1 already, but he is a running back 1. We got a lot of fluid, a lot of moving parts on this running back list for this week. Some names that you might be astonished to see so high. Starting with Breece Hall, he's a running back 1 this week against the Green Bay Pukers. Running back 2s, we got Ramondre Stevenson, who finally, for the first time in his career, is not going to have to share split carries with really anybody. Damian Harris is out this week. He might get spelled by a couple of younger guys, Kevin Harris and rookie Pierre Strong Jr., who I like Pierre Strong Jr. a lot. I wish he ended up somewhere else than New England, because I don't think he's really going to get used in New England. But Ramondre Stevenson can have a big week. He's the top of the list for the running back 2 heap. We got Aaron Jones at 12, Jeff Wilson at 13, Miles Sanders at 14, Melvin Gordon at 15. Melvin Gordon had a pretty good week despite the Broncos' offensive struggles. Melvin Gordon's looking good. Again, Melvin Gordon's been the most disrespected running back of this era. He's pretty good. He always deserved to be a number 1 guy. Number 16, we got Raheem Mostert. Number 17, we got Eno Benjamin, because James Conner and Darrell Williams are both out. Eno Benjamin is going to be the bell cow for the Cardinals. I don't know if he can physically handle it. I know he's talented, but he's really small. He reminds me a lot of Andre Ellington, who I remember the year Andre Ellington had that massive year. That was it. He never did anything so good again. He's just too small. But for 1 week in Seattle, I think Eno Benjamin can have a really good week. 18, we got Kenneth Walker, because the Rashad Penny injury. Kenneth Walker is finally, I shouldn't say finally, he's the guy in Seattle. I've been hyping up Kenneth Walker all offseason, and I'm glad he's finally getting his chance. It sucks for Rashad Penny, as Rashad Penny's talented, but this is just Rashad Penny's luck. He just gets hurt all the time. So I knew it was only a matter of time for Kenneth Walker. I think he's going to take the job and run with it, and Rashad Penny's not going to get his job back. He's going to have to go to a different team. Number 19, we got Najee Harris way down here in 19, because he's really struggling. That Liz Frank injury is bothering him. I think he needs to take at least a week off and try to rest and hopefully get right. But these guys are competitors. These guys, they want to play. They want to help their team. They think they're going to hurt their team by sitting. I get it. But I think the team needs to tell them to sit. But they're struggling. They're not going to do that right now. So Najee Harris at 19. Then we got Devin Singletary in that lip-licking matchup against the Chiefs at 20. Now your running back 3s. 21, we got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm wondering why he's still so low. I know he's not getting a whole lot of touches, but he's really producing. He's getting touchdowns with his touches. They're giving him premium touches, and so I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be higher. However, I didn't spike him, but I think he's proven that he should be a top 20 running back on a weekly basis. Number 22, we got J.K. Dobbins. Number 23, Darrell Henderson, because Cam Akers is out. Cam Akers sucks. Rams hopefully finally giving Darrell Henderson his due. They can give him some respect and give him a chance to be the bell cow here. 24, Kareem Hunt. 25, Ezekiel Elliott. 26, Travis Etienne. 27, A.J. Dillon. 28, we got James Robinson. So we got the Jaguars running backs pretty even this week, 26 and 28. 29, we got Michael Carter. And 30, we have Tony Pollard. So the Cowboys running backs are pretty close too, 25 and 30. Tony Pollard has been the more productive running back for Dallas this year, and the only reason Zeke Elliott still has a job is because he's getting paid so much money. But Tony Pollard's the better back at this point in time. So my yikes, I have 3 of them, and I have 3 yikes, 5 spikes. My first yike is a little nitpicky. but I got to do it because I needed a third one. I really only had 2 that I was really like confident in. I was like, I can't do 2 and 5. I got to do at least 3. So I picked a third one. Leonard Fournette at 5. Like, I know he had a huge week last week, and that's what we wanted to see. But you look at what he's done for most of the year. He hasn't had the greatest weeks. He's had okay weeks, not great weeks. I still think he's probably a top 10 back this week, but I have him more on the lower end. I'd probably have him around 9, maybe ahead of Breece Hall, around 9, not top 5. So I know it's all nitpicky. Still a running back 1, but not a top 5 running back for me. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Pittsburgh's going to kind of not shut him down, but definitely, keep him, modest. Then my next spike is in the running back 2 category. My next yike is in the running back 2 category. Miles Sanders of the Eagles. I really think Dallas's defense is gonna kind of keep him in check. I think most of the rushing production in this game is going to come from Jalen Hurts. I don't like Miles Sanders so much. Miles Sanders is more of a flex play for me this week, high-end flex. I can't deny how good he's looked this year. I give him respect because I've dogged on Miles Sanders for a long time. But he's proven this year that he is actually pretty good. He deserves to be a starting running back, so good for him. But I don't like him this week. Don't like Miles Sanders this week. And then another yike. J.K. Dobbins is a bench. He's a bench guy for me right now. The Ravens, he's not healthy. The Ravens don't trust him. They're not giving him a lot of work. It's tough to see because I know Baltimore wants to run the shit out of the ball, but and they want J.K. Dobbins to get a lot of those carries. But he's not really not doing much with the carries he's getting. He's not getting a whole lot of goal line work. He's just J.K. Dobbins just looks like a guy right now, and not a very good guy. He's outside my top 30. I want nothing to do with J.K. Dobbins this week. I kind of want nothing to do with J.K. Dobbins this year. I did draft him a few places. Wasn't real happy about it. And so far, it's not looking great, and I'm not convinced it's going to get better for him this year. But he could get healthy. He could get hot at the right time. He could get healthy, hot down the stretch. He could be the guy who carries you to a fantasy championship. If you're, drafting J.K. Dobbins, you're squeaking in the playoffs as a 5 or 6 seed. Dobbins could get hot. He can be the guy who takes you to the championship. That happens every year. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for with Dobbins, but I don't like him right now. He's a flex play. I think there's some other players lower on this list who we're going to talk about later in my spikes who I think could be more productive this week than J.K. Dobbins. All right, my spikes. Let's get to the 5. 2 guys outside the top 20 who I think should be in the top 20 this week, other than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Kareem Hunt. I really like Kareem Hunt's matchup against the Patriots this week. I'm not sure why. I know Nick Chubb's still there, and Nick Chubb's a monster. But Kareem Hunt, I just think he just does a really good job of producing with the touches he gets. I like what I saw from him last week. And, well, I shouldn't say saw. I didn't see a damn thing last week. I didn't watch a single down of football last week. So I can't say I saw it. But I like what I saw from the box score from Kareem Hunt. And I think he's going to have another big game against New England. I think this is going to be a very, very run-heavy game for both teams. As I do think that the Browns... the Browns are just going to rely on the running game. That's their best offense right now. They have 2 fantastic running backs. That's Kevin Stefanski's bread and butter is running game. But I think Bill Belichick is going to neutralize and shut down Jacoby Brissett. I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett's that great, but Bill Belichick knows every flaw Jacoby Brissett has. I think the passing game is going to be very modest. I'm not super high on Amari Cooper this week either. He's still a flex play. If anybody in that Browns offense or passing game is going to do anything, it's going to be Amari Cooper. However, I think they're going to rely very heavily on the run game. And Kareem Hunt is also a guy who does really well in the passing game for running backs. I think he's going to, maximize his chances. He's going to have another really good game. Kareem Hunt's a top 20 play for me. And then James Robinson in 28. Travis Etienne has been a massive disappointment this year, and James Robinson has been a huge surprise. James Robinson has been the vastly superior running back so far this year. I know they've been a little bit closer in touches and productivity the last couple of weeks, but James Robinson is the guy who gets the touchdowns. He's the guy who's looked more explosive so far. I like James Robinson a lot more than Travis Etienne right now. James Robinson in 28, I think, even with the fact that he has put up modest production in week 4 and 5, I still think that 28 is way too low, and I have him in maybe not top 20 because I kind of like this top 20 list, honestly, other than Miles Sanders. But I'd probably actually I don't know. Man, someone's got to drop because I want Clyde Edwards-Helaire up there. I want Kareem Hunt up there. So maybe Kareem Hunt's not a top 20 play, but he's definitely high in flex, higher than 24. I'd probably put Kareem Hunt up like 21. I'd move Clyde Edwards-Helaire into the top 20, move Miles Sanders out. Who else am I going to move out if I'm moving James Robinson in? I'm not moving James Robinson into the top 20. Putting him up 20 high in flex. 21, 22. Much higher than he is on this list in 28. And then there's a couple other spikes outside the top 30. Tyler Algier. I think he's clearly... I know Caleb Huntley's still around, but Tyler Algier is the more talented back. He's the guy who's getting the majority of the carries, producing with his carries. I don't think the game script for the Falcons is going to be good. I think they're going to be trailing in this game for most of the game, if not all of the game. So it doesn't bode super well for Tyler Algier. But I think he's still going to see, 12, 15 touches. And he's going to get 60, 70, 80, 100 yards, maybe a touchdown. That's a pretty good day, pretty good flex numbers. Tyler Algier belongs in the top 30. I would put him in there ahead of Dobbins. Definitely moving Dobbins out. I don't know who else. Because I want to move Chase Edmonds, 35. I think both Dolphins running backs are going to be big factors in this game for the Dolphins. I don't think they're going to... I don't know what to expect or hope for Skylar Thompson. But as a Vikings fan, I'm hoping that we blow the Dolphins out. But I do think that's why I'm a little reluctant about Raheem Mostert at 16. But I'm keeping him there because I think that he's proven he's getting more productive, getting more work week by week. I think if the Dolphins have a prayer in this game, if they do hang around, knowing my Vikings, they're going to let the Dolphins hang around. Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, both can be big factors in this game. I like them both. As Chase Edmonds definitely more of a low end flex play. Raheem Mostert though, I think Mostert's going to see most of the carries. Chase Edmonds could be a factor with dump offs out of the backfield from Skylar Thompson, which I think screenplays are going to be a big thing in this game. I think Jalen Waddle is going to be the one that suffers the most with Skylar Thompson out there this week. I don't recommend playing Jalen Waddle. I've benched Jalen Waddle in every league, which is sad to say because I really like Jalen Waddle. And then Tevin Coleman at 40. He had a big week last week, and I think if this game goes as I'm anticipating it going, the 49ers blowing the Falcons out, Tevin Coleman is going to see some work. Garbage time work, maybe gets another touchdown. I'm banking on it because there's one league where I am just freaking screwed at running back. Like I've never had a league where I've been short running backs, but I am short running backs because Cam Akers is not playing. I've made the mistake of drafting Cam Akers. I got him really low. That's why I drafted him, because he tumbled down the board, which hindsight, I guess everybody else knew something. We all knew something that, and I just passed on him. So Akers is out, DeAndre Swift is out. So the only running backs I have are, man, I wish I could look, but if as soon as I look, this camera's going to stop recording. I don't remember who I have. I have like 2 guys, though. I think it is, and they're not very good. Because I was actually the last team in that league to draft a running back, and it was DeAndre Swift was my first one. And so I got like kind of the guys who fell, like Akers. Who the hell else do I have? I don't remember who I have, but I had to pick up Tevin Coleman out of complete desperation yesterday to be my running back 3. It's a league that starts 3 running backs. And with Swift and Akers out, I had nobody. There's nothing on the wire. There was nothing on the wire that I trust. Tevin Coleman, I don't even trust him, but I'm hoping that he does something like he did last week. Gives him garbage time production, garbage time touchdown, anything. I don't even. It's crazy. My team is really bad in that league. Like, I'm in last place, no running backs. It's a weird league where they have a lot of flex, but they're all like wide receiver, tight end flexes. So like, there's no wide receivers on the wire either. So I've been stocking up. Like every time I hit the wire, I'm stocking up on wide receivers because, I don't want to get caught short with those. But man, am I screwed running back with Swift and Akers out, and like, there's just nothing on the wire. This league is just barren. It is sad. I'm definitely struggling in this league. It's one of those Yahoo ones I joined for fun because ESPN, for some reason, did away with the custom leagues. So every stupid ESPN league you join is the same standard cookie cutter one, which is boring. So I go to Yahoo to find like super flex leagues, which I'm not doing any super flex leagues this year, or IDP leagues, or like leagues with a lot of flex options or weird scoring, because I want something different than what ESPN offers. In fact, I don't really want to play fantasy football on ESPN anymore, but that's where all my annual leagues are, and they continue to run them on ESPN. So it's like, okay, I'm going to play on ESPN, and then since I have ESPN Plus, I joined a few of those ESPN Plus leagues, and then if you win a league on ESPN, you win a free league on ESPN, you get to play in up to 25. I'm like, well, I may as well use that. So yeah, it'd be nice if we could move off of ESPN entirely, but we probably never will. So ESPN it is, and yeah, most of my other teams, most of my other teams aren't doing great, but they're not completely worthless in last place like that one I was just talking about on Yahoo, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to dig myself out of this hole, since the waiver wire is completely barren all the time. Deep rosters, that's what you get for deep rosters, and no running backs. I'm definitely regretting not targeting more running backs in the draft instead of wide receivers, because that's usually what I do. I stock up on backs, take my chances with wide receivers, but I tried something different with this league, and it completely backfired. So yeah, all right, that's it. I guess that's all I have to say. I guess it's time to go Uber now. It's like 9:30ish, 9:45. Had a nice breakfast. Got enough rest last night. I watched Smile yesterday, which was definitely, I wouldn't say it was scary. Movies don't scare me. I don't get scared by movies. They're fake. I know that they're fake. I can keep that psychological barrier in my mind. I don't have nightmares. But it was a little unsettling. It was like uncomfortable to watch this. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was uncomfortable to watch this girl go through what she was going through, knowing that like no one's gonna believe her, and knowing that doom is imminent. And it's like it was just really uncomfortable to watch this psychological breakdown of her life in like 4 or 5 days. It was just complete. It was uncomfortable, and it was decent. It was a good movie. Definitely a little creepy. But I thought the ending. I didn't like the ending. The ending sucked, and I'm sure there will be sequels. It's probably going to spawn like a whole like Saw universe kind of thing, and maybe I'll probably watch the sequels too because the first one was good enough, and I just thought it could have had a better ending. But it was an overall decent movie. If you're looking for something looking for something creepy to watch, Smile's a good one. Now it's time to go watch Halloween Ends, which I heard from one of my friends was like awesome. So I can't wait to see how Michael Myers ends, if Michael Myers ends. I'm not convinced he will, but we'll see. Peace, love, and nacho fries. Go get yourself some nacho fries. Have a good day. Good luck with your fantasy football matchups this week.